In this video, we will discuss the operating principle of AC electromagnetic attraction relay. As you already know, operating force is proportional to the square of the operating current. If FE is the operating force, we can write FE is equal to KI square. We can write operating current I as Im sin omega t, and from here we can write sin square omega t is equal to 1 minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2. Finally, we get the equation of Fe like this. Now you can see electromagnetic force consists of two components. One is constant, which is half k Im square. Another is dependent on time, which is pulsating at double the frequency of applied voltage. Now we can graphically show the equation of resultant operating force. The restraining force Fr, which is produced by the spring, it is constant, which is shown by a line. Here x-axis presents the time t and y-axis present the electromagnetic force applied to the armature. Now at omega t is equal to 0, what will be the value of Fe? If omega t is equal to 0, then the value of Fe will be 0. Now what will be the value of Fe if omega t is equal to pi by 2? If omega t is equal to pi by 2, then half k Im square minus half k Im square cos 2 pi by 2, that means cos pi is equal to minus 1. So we can write half k Im square plus half k Im square is equal to k Im square. If this is half k Im square, so we can take this point at k Im square. Again, when omega t is equal to pi, then the value of Fe will be 0. So finally we get a curve like this for resultant operating force. This means operating force Fe is continuously changing with the time. For operating of a relay, the operating force must be greater than the restraining force. You can see this time to this time, the operating force is more than the restraining force. Let's say it is time t1 and this point is time t2. So we can say the armature of relay will be picked up at time t1 and it drops off at time t2, where the operating force is more than the restraining force. After this point, the operating force becomes smaller than the restraining force. We can see from graph. So if the operating force is smaller than the restraining force, then the relay doesn't work. Again, from this instant to this instant, operating force is greater than the restraining force, so relay will again operate. And after this again, relay will not operate. So you can find here relay is operating 2 times in every cycle when operating force is greater than the restraining force. If this is the total cycle, then we can say relay is operating 2 times, from this point to this point and from this instant to this instant, 2 times in every cycle. So due to this changing of relay armature 2 times in one cycle, vibration of armature will be more and produces a noise. Also, due to vibration, there can be spark between moving contact and fixed contact of relay, and it may cause damage to the relay contact. Now the difficulty of vibration of armature can be overcome if we generate a flux which lacks the other flux. Then there will be continuously operating force which is greater than the restraining force. If operating force is greater than the restraining force and it is continuous, then the armature will not vibrate, and this can be found by splitting the resultant flux. As the splitted two flux act simultaneously, but one flux, so this is one flux, lags behind the other flux. So by this way, the vibration of armature can be overcome, and there will be always operating force which is greater than the restraining force. So we can see if there is another flux we can introduce here which is lags the other flux, then always there will be operating force. Before we have seen there was no operating force in this instant, but if we introduce another flux which lags the other flux, then there will be operating force in the gap, and this relay will operate all the instant. And finally, this will close the trip circuit and there will be no vibration of the armature. Now the splitting of original flux can be done by two ways. Number one, introducing a shading ring on the poles of electromagnet. So if we introduce a shading ring on the pole of electromagnet, then we can get the split of original flux. Here the resultant flux will be divided to pass through the shading and unshading pole. The flux through the shading pole, which is phi2, lags the flux of unshading pole, which is phi1, by an angle theta. This means flux phi1 and flux phi2 act simultaneously but differ in time phase. So there will be continuously operating force like this, which is greater than the restraining force, and then armature will not vibrate. Now there is another way. The same thing, the angle between the flux can be achieved by providing two windings on the same electromagnet having a phase shifting circuit. Here you can see two winding W1 and winding W2 on the same electromagnet. Due to adding capacitor in one coil, let's say coil 2, there will be a phase difference between two fluxes. Here phi2 leads phi1 by some angle, let's say angle theta. Since capacitor is added in coil 2, so phi2 leads phi1. So due to this phase difference, there will be continuously operating force which is greater than the restraining force. Then the armature will not vibrate. However, the shading ring method is more simple and widely used.